Hello. Gonna go ahead and get y'all over to the game. And unmute that. All right. Hello. This is Soul of Sovereignty. This is a game that I have been wanting to check out for a while. I'm gonna lower the volume a little bit for myself, just because it is a little loud. This is a game by GGDG. If you're not familiar with their work, they are an artist that has made a lot of webcomics. They made Cucumber Quest, and then they kind of unfortunately had to put that webcomic kind of on perpetual hold just because it was such a grand undertaking. And then after that, they made Lady of the Shard, which was an incredible, like, dynamic webcomic that they made within your browser, with really amazing visuals and like really cool transitions and stuff. Really recommend checking their stuff out. If you noted just as like a fair warning, there are some content warnings on this game, according to the itch.io page that I purchased this at. So this work contains depictions of violence, nudity, and sexual themes. It is intended for mature audiences only, so that may be something to keep in mind. But yeah, I've been really wanting to check this out for a while now. They've been joking, like, on their social media, GGDG has been, about, like, because they've been working on it for so long. They were like, SoulSov real! SoulSov being obviously the, like, kind of shorthand for it. So I am just really excited to check this out. The music is already amazing. It's by Toby Fox, it looks like. Yeah. And GGDG, of course, for pretty much everything else. Good music, Toby Fox. But yeah, so let's get started. I'm really, really excited for this. I've been waiting for this for a while. And as you know, as you can see, this is just the prelude. So this isn't even the full game. I have no idea how long this prelude is. But we'll just kind of play it by ear, and kind of just go with the flow here. And if it sucks, you know, if after a while I kind of run out of spoons, we might call it before it's over and come back to it another day. But yeah, so yeah, let's get started. I'm not sure whether I should read this out loud just because I feel like my cute little voice is going to ruin the atmosphere. Slug, 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 slug. Hey, Trail. Glad you could make it. This is kind of a cool, kind of serious game. So totally get if it's not kind of everyone's cup of tea here. But like I said, kind of in the intro, I've been looking forward to this. So let me know if So if I need to move anything as far as like the overlay goes, I'm noticing like the chat boxes are kind of covering part of the screen, that kind of stuff. I can definitely do that if it's, you know, too obstructive. Just let me know and we'll get some adjustments done on that front, okay? Probably should have tested that beforehand, but you know what? Fuck it, we're doing it live, right? There was a voices option in the settings, which is why I'm kind of like, is there going to be voice acting or not? So I'm kind of just waiting to see. Looks good for now. Okay, good to know. The Lamplight, Heart of Tarn. The first inn to become famous after the treasure hunting boom took off. A few decades ago, on a day like this, it would have been swarming with people. Tonight, there's only one customer. Look, the customer. In a manner of speaking, anyway. I arrived a few months ago, needing a place to stay while I continued my search in the area. Alma's pride wouldn't let her take money from an old friend, but I eventually convinced her to accept my services instead. Since then, I've been helping her look after the guests here. Guests, yes, the village's sick and elderly given shelter from the unkind weather, not customers. Most were once treasure hunters themselves, but the age for that ended too soon, before they'd found anything to build a life on. Tonight's dinner could be described charitably as soup, or realistically as onion water. Most of our guests chose the latter. Though I normally try to encourage them to keep up healthy appetites, I couldn't blame them for the nearly full dishes I gathered this time. Hell yeah, onion water! Alma's a terrific cook, really, but I doubt she sees much point in trying these days. I can't blame her either. Whoa. The dining room is deserted, tabletops lined with dust, rugs trampled thin. The television is purely decorative now, with no signal to pick up since Tarn was cut off years ago. About the only glimmer of the past comes from the crackling fireplace, where explorers would have once crowded together, sharing stories. Gonna come down or what? Alma, the owner of the Lamplight. She leans against the bar, smoking a cigarette. I love her. Hey, Matthew! Happy to see you. Welcome. Yes. Again, in case you weren't here when I started, this visual novel is by GGDG, just like the actual letters GGDG. You may know them from their webcomics, Cucumber Quest and Lady of the Shard. If you haven't taken a peek at those, highly recommend them. And I also highly recommend this game. This is, again, just the Prelude. It is $10 roonies on itch.io. So if you are interested, maybe you should take a peek and keep an eye on it for when the whole game comes out. Yeah? Just a suggestion. I don't know if I should bother like making voices for the characters in this game, because I feel like wink wink, exactly. Because I feel like I will not do them justice. But I will do my best to at least do it. Oh boy. I don't know, what would Alma sound like? Alma means soul in Spanish. We could give her a Latino accent. Oh, look, he's so handsome. Look at his poofy hair. I like him. I've seen art of this man. How about comically bad accents? I don't know if that would suit the kind of the vibe we're going for here, but I can try it. Loic says, "Oh, I didn't see you." You were seeing something. What? And what? And don't say how badly you want me to clean this place up. No. Well, no, but you really ought to consider selling the TV at least. It may be old, but it'll still work in the mosaic. Is that all? I know you know, Alma. It just caught my eye. I joined her at the bar and set down the tray. Something hangs heavy in the air as we look over the empty room together. Instead, I decide to turn my gaze outside. The largest windows face away from the mosaic, out towards the promise of the new world. I've grown used to the view now, the towering shadows of mountains, empty homes scattered in the snow. Only tonight... Someone's coming. By the time I make it to the door, the visitor has collapsed in a heap at the threshold. Oh no, give me a hand, would you? Yeah. Hello, Toge! Welcome! Welcome in. Her breathing and pulse seem normal. She does look awfully pale, but I think she'll be all right. There we are. How are you feeling? Welcome, dear. Ah, Alma's old customer service voice. It's been a while since I've heard that. Will you be needing a room, or maybe you're just here to dine with us tonight? Room. Then I've made it? This is the lamplight? The one and only, serving the spirit of discovery since... Oh, thank goodness! I need your help. Great, another charity case. Don't be heartless, Alma. A decent meal is the very least we can offer. Yeah. As Alma trudges to the kitchen, I take a seat across from the stranger. Oh, she's so cute! You should know, there's an emphasis on that decent. I wouldn't set my expectations too high if I were you. Oh, I'll be happy with anything. You're too kind. But we haven't even gotten to your problem. You said you needed help? The woman breathes a long, thin sigh. There's somewhere I need to get to. I heard this was a gathering place for treasure hunters, so I hoped one of them could escort me. But where are you headed? Do you know of a ruin near here called the Hollow Temple? Forget it. Alma emerges from the kitchen with a lukewarm cup of soup in her hand. She hands it off to the woman. Waste of a trip, honey. It's a short walk, sure, but the woods are infested. If you're not going to pay for a room, at least spare me from having to report your body to the shield. Alma. What? Better to be honest. I have to. I have to go. I saw it in a dream. The god of that temple visited me and said that if I prayed at the altar, I'd be cured. Cough, 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 cough. I'm not coughing in the microphone for your auditory hell. I've suffered from this illness all my life, and now I've finally been shown a cure. My ears! I didn't even actually cough! I have to go. And here I thought you came for treatment from the good doctor here. Well, suit yourself. You're a doctor? That's her idea of a joke. You'd be generous to call me a caretaker. I'm not sure how much my humble remedies could do for this illness of yours, but I'm more than willing to try. The woman softly shakes her head. I've seen 1,000,000 doctors, and not one of them could help me. I know it must sound like nonsense, but that temple is my only hope. I see. Out of curiosity, have you ever heard how the so-called Hollow Temple got its name? No. There's nothing in it. Oh. For years, people were convinced there had to be some secret hidden beneath the surface, but as it turns out, it's just an empty building. I'm sorry to say this, but without the promise of treasure, you'd have a hard time convincing any treasure hunters to make the trip, if you could find any here. Then this is it for me. Hold on, I was going to say I'd be happy to go with you. You? I know, you were hoping for someone a bit more suited to the rigors of the road, let's say. The truth is, I've been meaning to visit that temple myself. Sooner or later, I'll be going either way, and I do intend to get there in one piece, for what it's worth. You? Ew! Really? At the very least, we don't have anything to lose by going together. Safety in numbers and all. Listen, why don't you give it some thought? I'll be over in the— Wait, I'll go! That was fast. Are you sure? You're the first stranger who's offered to help me. If this is my only chance of making it to the temple, I have to take it. Let's not be strangers then. Loic. Isme, I assume is how that's pronounced. Isme, thank you, Loic. Isme, thank you, Loic. Owen, hello! I'm happy you could make it. I know you were like in the middle of like a little trip. Thank you for taking the time to come. I really appreciate it. Tonight's clear skies are a rarity. Given the urgency of Isme's plight, I'm not surprised that she wants to go right away. Besides, it's a short enough trip that we should be back before the next snowfall rolls in. I like to imagine Owen's floating on a pool floaty in a scenic lake, looking at an iPad right now. Oh, no worries, Owen. I know you're taking some time for yourself, and that's super important, so please don't feel like you're obligated to be here or anything like that. I appreciate any time that you can make. Thank you. And now you're off into the cold for this random girl. Why am I not surprised? She needs help, Alma. I like to think you'd do the same. Please, some of us know how to look out for ourselves first. You should try it sometime. Hey there, Sherbert! Welcome in. I know you were streaming Genshin, right? How was your stream? Thanks for the concern. See you in the morning, all right? Cast profiles have been added. Ooh, nice. It looks like I could click that, but I cannot. Okay, I'm gonna take a sippa because I'm going to have to. Obviously, I'm going to have to read this. First time playing through it. It's fun so far. Yeah, I'm happy to hear. I caught a little bit of it, like probably an hour ago, but I had to do a couple of things before stream, so I wasn't able to stay. Something that really Genshin always strikes me because it's like such a pretty looking game, but I have like no idea what you do in it. but it looked really pretty. Ah, thank you, Abra, for pinning that. I'm pretty good. I had a crazy day, but I am happy to be here playing this game, which I've been wanting to play for a long time. And yeah, just note the content warnings. This is a more mature, a game for more mature audiences. So totally get it if you need to duck. And if this isn't your thing, definitely, you know, no problem skipping this stream. And that goes for everybody. In the beginning, the builder looked to the horizon and foresaw the death of the world. To preserve life, he raised a great tower, a new home for all of humanity, mosaic, I almost said. From the farthest oh gosh, English is so hard, huh? From the farthest reaches, he gathered every soul together into one most peaceful nation, a perfect refuge from the storm. No problem, Toge. Drive safe and have a good evening. Ages on, when all had stilled, the people of the Mosaic opened their gates to see what remained, and found a ruined land, owned by no one. Thus did they set forth to pick clean the bones of the world they forgot. I remember hearing so many stories about the world outside the Mosaic. An endless expanse where the spirit of discovery soared on the wind, inviting the bold. Ismay the Blessed, huh? Walking through this ghost town, I can't imagine it. When the first treasure hunters found this place, it was already in ruins. They built it up into a new town, only for it to shrivel into nothing again. All that wasted effort. Okay, Matthew. Yeah, I'll probably be raiding into Bingta, so you're totally good. Have a good gaming sesh. See ya. Every little gust of wind sets the windows chattering in these ramshackle houses. But beyond all this, out in the mountains, I can almost hear the faint voice of my own personal spirit of discovery. Ismay, I hope this doesn't sound rude, but I wonder how that cloak will hold up against the cold. Oh, the temple is a straight shot from here, but we are going to have to walk it. Will you be all right? Yes. You say that, but you're suffering enough from your illness. Please don't push yourself. Hey, Kurodaya. Yeah, I've been waiting to play this game forever, so I'm happy to get to show it off today on stream. Really, I'm fine. Eating something gave me the strength I needed, I think. If you insist. But now that I'm thinking about it, he removes one of the flowers pinned to the clasp on his collar. This is a palicia. In the language of flowers, it means fire. That's funny. Is it? I just thought flower language was, I don't know, unrequited love, things like that. Most people know it that way. In this region, long ago, these flowers were common travelers' charms meant to ease the cold. Just an old superstition, but it can't hurt. Here. And do you normally give these out? One way or another. Flowers are my business. I guess you could say some habits from the shop are hard to shake, even on the road. So you're a florist? A superstitious one, it turns out. I hope I haven't put you off. Not at all. It's a kind thought. Thank you. Even if the spirit of discovery is dead, the kindness of strangers apparently lives on. When our fingers brush, I feel warmth. And not just a faint touch, but a steady embrace that spreads comfortably over my skin. Let's be off. Ready? Oh, right. Oh. For all my fussing over Ismay, I'm barely dressed for the cold myself. This snow is too thick for the middle of spring. Then again, any ideas about right or wrong with regard to the weather seem arbitrary. In my months at the lamplight, I've come to appreciate the cold. A sudden chill against my face feels refreshing when I know it wasn't decided by committee. At such times, I think there are still treasures to be found outside the mosaic. Do those have a meaning too? My gaze follows Ismay's to a patch of weeds poking through the frost. Dandelions? Sure. Mundanity. That's a joke. Her face! Do you think so? If every flower has a meaning, some of them are bound to be less exciting than others. I suppose. We brace ourselves against. It was like a. We brace ourselves against a sudden wind. It's a good thing we set out tonight. This time tomorrow, I expect we'll have another blizzard on us. Thank you again, Loic. I didn't think you'd be willing to go so soon. I didn't think it could wait. Maybe not for me, but why were you planning to visit the temple? I'm curious considering it's hollow and all. Oh, did I not say? I'm going for the same reason as you. To be cured? But you seem perfectly healthy. An apple a day. But that's not quite what I mean. I'm not interested in investigating the temple itself so much as the local flora. I don't suppose you've heard of the glass bell. I'm sorry, I haven't. Perfectly understandable. The glass bell is a very peculiar flower, one said to be potent enough to cure any malady. That's too good to be true? Maybe. It's never been seen, only told of in old writings. If it does exist, it could grow anywhere, and so I search everywhere. And who is it for? Let's not talk about that. In fact, enough about me. Tell me about yourself, Ismay. Huh? There isn't much to tell. I'm not very special. Come now, not many can say they've been called upon by a god. It's not something to brag about, especially at home. Not in his vision. Ha. No, I guess not. You're religious then? More my family. When she turns towards the ever-present pillar on the horizon, I can only imagine the expression that darkens her face. I grew up praying for the builder to cure me, but that wasn't in his vision. When my family learns I came this far, all at the word of a pagan god, I'll probably be disowned. But, alive and well, we can always pick up the pieces from there, can't we? Aw. That's true. The runaway. Alive and well. The words ring in my ears. To be honest, the cold didn't bother me at all. The cold never bothered me anyway. Okay, it never does. Now, though, I have real warmth to compare it to. Now I have a way out, a path to alive and well. Ah, and there's our temple. Can you see it? But the bridge is out. Oh, don't worry about that. It's been out of commission for months. The reason I put this trip off for so long, in fact. Is it ever going to be fixed? Ha, at this point I wouldn't count on it. Putting aside the lack of interest, Tarn just doesn't have the means anymore. Oh. But we can take a detour. This way. We go off the path, into the thick of the woods. I try to focus on what waits at the end of this hike, but in spite of myself, I keep thinking of that word the innkeeper used to describe this place. Infested. They say that when the old world died and the builder created his paradise for mankind, he let in 2 of every animal in nature. The rest were left behind as the clouds rolled in. Is there combat in this game? Surely not. It's a visual novel, huh? To be fair, I haven't played many visual novels. Did you hear that? Unfortunately. You said you had a plan for dealing with monsters, didn't you? Did I? Your face! Didn't you? I remember saying that I meant to get to the temple in one piece, but a plan? I could certainly try to come up with something now, if you like. Seems like that might be a good thing to do, yes. How fast can you run, do you think? Thanks, Loic. Probably not very. She has some kind of lung issue, my dude. On account of being deathly ill and all. Oh, right. Forgive me. That was thoughtless. Outside the safety of the mosaic, deadly rain came pouring from the skies. It ate through stone and steel, washing entire cities and nations away. But the animals caught in the flood changed. They trembled and twisted and came apart, then came back together the wrong way. And any creatures that didn't succumb were hunted by the ones that did. Oh, spooky. Oh. Shit! I wouldn't have wanted to cross paths with this thing when it was a normal wolf, let alone whatever the hell this tangle of limbs and mouths is. Once I start running, I don't look back. The trees are dense enough to slow it down a bit, but I can't carry on like this uphill. Ismay! The voice comes from behind. When I look, he's stopped next to a fallen tree, trying to shove it out of where it's lodged in the snow. Without a second thought, I double back. 1, 2. We strain against the trunk together. Wild, heaving breaths close in. Then the weight shifts. Not much of a plan, but whatever works. Thank goodness. You know, Ismay. I was joking when I suggested we run, but I'm glad you took it as a challenge. I don't like thinking of myself as an old man yet, but I could barely keep up. I guess he's probably, I would guess, like in his 30s? It's not old. Although I don't know what the life expectancy in this world is. When push comes to shove. Back at the lamplight, you seem to be struggling just to get through your story. Alma's cooking must be better than I gave her credit for if it energized you that much. All those vegetables. In onion soup. All those vegetable. His gaze is warm but intense. I should have known he saw through my act. Yeah, I had a feeling. Maybe right from the start. Maybe my coughing could have been more realistic. Whatever. Maybe I should have done a better job doing the cough, guys. My bad. Sorry, Ismay. But he offered to help me anyway. And judging from the look on his face, the offer's still open. Fine, alright, I'm not sick. That was all bullshit. I had a feeling. But I needed help getting to the temple, and pity works. You were right, you know. I was hoping it would rope in more of a bodyguard. We haven't died yet, so I'd say you could have done worse. Now, what is it you're after at the temple? I like how her art changed, too. The greatest power in the world. I'm sure you know what I mean. The sovereignty. I've heard stories. Then you know no one would have taken me seriously if I told them I was actually looking for it. And even if someone did, why would they help me find it? Convince me then. Why would I? Or why should I, even? Look. You have that miracle flower you're after, right? I'm guessing there's someone you want to save, no matter what. Well, I have that too. The sovereignty is my one hope of a world worth living in. And what makes you so certain it's in this place? There was a professor in the Mosaic who researched the legends. I read everything he wrote on the subject. There's no guarantee, but the temple was never totally ruled out as a lead. I want to see it for myself. And if you find nothing there, then what? Then I keep searching. Isn't that what you're doing? I have to explore every avenue. Maybe most treasure hunters have moved on, but I need this to be real. I'm sorry for lying to you, Loic, but I had to. Oh boy. Ah. I think perhaps we've lingered too long. They howl, they scream. I don't stick around for another second. That fallen tree was a stroke of luck, and it doesn't strike twice, but maybe there's some other way to slow them down. And just as I start looking around, my foot slips. I tumble into a patch of weeds before I even realize it. For a second, I think I've been tackled, so I panic and scramble up against a nearby tree. But these creatures are more patient than that. It can't be every day that they get entertainment like us. They close in, savoring their win, and I clench my eyes shut. And for some reason, despite everything, only for a single instant, I feel calm. When I dare to look again, one of the things is too close. I see puffs of its breath as it leans in, sniffing at my face from every angle. Something about its attitude has changed. It's almost frustrated. Its eyes sear into mine for what feels like forever. Then it pulls away. One by one, the other beasts follow their leader back into the woods until the two of us are left alone. Are you all right? What the hell? I try to stand, but my useless ankle buckles under my weight. Shit! Easy, let me see. Worse than I thought. It might even be broken. I don't want to risk trying to put pressure on it again. So, what are the chances of you carrying me up the rest of the way? He smiles. Slim. Let's try something else. And there's something in his hand, a little notebook, bound with string. He opens it, then flips through the pages, passing what looks like dozens of pressed flowers. The yellow rose means mending, in short. In the mosaic, it's come to symbolize friendship, another case of the simplification that makes flower language easier to sell. He stops at a certain page and brushes his fingers against the dull, dry petals of a rose. I'm fond of that one, though. It's nice to think of a friendship as something that can be mended, no matter how severe the break. As he goes on, the flower seems to come alive beneath his hand. Flower magic system! I blink hard. I've got to be imagining it, but there it is, full and vibrant as the second it was picked. He returns his attention to me, and I notice that strange calm again. The air turns soft and heavy, as if warmed by his voice. Take heart. Not all things fall neatly into place, but this will. Hi, Mayshark! Welcome! Thanks for checking out the stream. It just happens. My ankle is broken, and then it isn't. I pull it closer to look. No wound, no bruise, nothing. And when I glance back at his notebook, the rose has completely withered away. I knew it. The flower you gave me when we left, that was magic too. They all are, even those. He nods to the few dandelions poking through the frost, their petals scattered on the snow. Mundanity. Mundanity? Mundanity? Mundanity. But this is the sort of thing that kept me busy in Tarn for the few months I've been there. Thank you so much! I really appreciate you being here, even if it's only for a little while. This game is a little heavier, than, raiding snails. But it's really interesting so far, and I love the art style. So hopefully you enjoy it while you're here, and, it can be a cool thing to look at through your evening here. I'm not a healer exactly, but I can manage enough to make myself useful. I've dealt with my fair share of difficulty in the mosaic, so I try not to be too forthcoming with the details. It is a very pretty game. Yes, this is Soul of Sovereignty, Prelude, by GGDG, who is an incredible artist. I've been singing their praises so far all stream. Check out their other stuff. They're just GGDG, literally the letters GGDG. You said you come from a religious family, so I'm sure you understand. That's one way of putting it. Well, consider this a show of good faith. You've been kind enough to share your secret with me, after all. How does it work? Oh no, that conversation would take all night. Ask me back at the lamplight and I'll tell you all about it. Sure, that'll be nice. For now, he helps me up to my feet and I take a moment to shake the snow from my cloak. Shall we? Ooh, flower glossary. Can I actually look at that, like now, in the middle of my thing, or will it kick me? Loic Ard. The not quite customer. Oh, I can't change that. I thought those were little arrows. Don't be heartless, Alma. A decent meal is the very least we can offer. A man with gentle eyes who keeps an impressive array of potted plants in the otherwise dreary lobby. Seeing how many chores he does around the inn, newcomers tend to assume he's the owner, but it usually doesn't take long for Alma to set them straight. A sick young woman. While the exact nature of her illness is unclear, it has made her desperate enough to brave the frosty wilderness. Okay. Oh, I like these, portraits. Since moving to Tarn as a teenager, Alma has never truly thought of the mosaic as her home. She helped establish Lamplight long before, inheriting it from her father, serving cheer and world-class cooking to guests who regaled her with tales of adventure. Of course, cheer was easier when the business still brought in money. These days, despite what she may claim, Alma runs a charity for the forcibly retired treasure hunters she can't bear to turn her back on. Sad. Glossary. Okay, so we have the three ones we've been shown so far. cool. So if we're ever like, what the heck was that? We can look that up. Almighty God of language, lend us your eyes, and we will see truth. Lend us your hands, and we will guard life. Lend us your tongue, and we will speak power. The temple is quiet and barren. In other words, more or less what I expected. Yet stepping through the door sent a chill through me, all the same. More than anything, though, I can't see shit. One moment I have just the thing. Another flower? No, let me. I brought a flashlight. Oh, wonderful. That's much more convenient. Ooh. Who is this? I guess the god of this place? Why the uncertainty? Don't you recognize them from your dream? Yeah. The people of Accent were monotheists originally. Over time, various aspects of their god came to be worshipped as separate entities. This is Tanem, the aspect of truth. Traditionally, you're supposed to confess any acts of dishonesty before their image. Oh, sorry for pretending to be sick. But I already came clean about that, so I should be all squared away, right? I don't see why not. Really, it's more an encouragement to make amends with the people we've wronged. Let's have a look around. So what was this temple built for? Any ideas? Hard to say. The entrance is the only part that feels anything like a place of worship. When explorers found it, there were traps around every corner. It took years for the path to be opened even this far. You know a lot. Everyone needs a hobby, though I doubt I'm telling you anything you haven't read. I only cared about whether the sovereignty could be here. Didn't get too into the details. No? But this place was the talk of the tower for years. All the ancient discovery reports on TV. But maybe those were before your time. Maybe. You haven't missed much then. At the end of all that fuss, they didn't find anything. You could say it put a damper on the whole treasure hunting craze. What, everyone gave up because one ruin turned out to be empty? There was a bit more to it than that, but essentially, yes. But I've done enough to lower your expectations, haven't I? Why don't we see for ourselves what they found? The central chamber is pure darkness, almost as though we've stepped into a void, at least until Ismay's flashlight reveals the walls. Plain stone on every side. You know, I actually have my own theory about this place. Do tell. I think it's fake. This room, most of all. What we're seeing doesn't exist. It's like a shared hallucination. That's quite the theory. That's certainly an interesting theory. Loic sharing my sentiment of, okay, that's a little wild, but okay. I'll roll with it. But you can feel it, can't you? Something off. My footsteps slow. You think it's some sort of illusion, then? Not quite. Illusions are new magic, the kind of trick any kid in the mosaic can do. This is something else, something older. Like the magic you've been nice enough to demonstrate for me. You seem stumped. Well, let me tell you something else. Okay, this got really sinister suddenly. I didn't put on the sick girl act for whatever random treasure hunter happened to feel sorry for me. I came here for you. Hello? What? Hello? This got real wild suddenly. Her voice slowly circles me in the darkness. Loic fucking Grun! You had a bit of a reputation back home, didn't you? The Messenger, a normal little flower shop where people in the know could buy magic. I had my doubts, but you did away with those real quick. Couldn't resist showing off to a cute, helpless girl, I guess. And where did you hear all of this about me? I bring my hand to my chest, feeling for a familiar flower pinned there, touching upon a memory. Let's just say I had a reliable source. But I'm sick of talking, aren't you? Why don't we get down to business? I think that'll be a bit hard under these conditions, Isme. Let's have some light. And there she is, her features shadowed by a velvety hood, a new cloak woven from nothing in the blink of an eye, still fresh and crackling with the energy of creation. This is artisanry, so-called new magic, but certainly no child's trick. Ha 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 ha! See? The light I've summoned falls strangely on the floor, piercing more than the shadows. Your magic is the key. Even a little spark shows this place for what it really is. You can get me in. But you already knew that, right? After all, you've been here before. How many unreliable narrators are there gonna be in this game? I watch my reflection, fading in and out on the impossibly rippling stone. When I agreed to be your escort, it was in the hope of convincing you that there was nothing here. But I've badly underestimated you, Isme. I see that now. So let me tell you the truth. This place fills me with dread. You're right. I've stood here once before, many years ago. I felt the same then. I strongly believe that whatever sleeps here should never be woken, whether it's the sovereignty or anything worse. And now that I've done as I promised you, I think I should be on my way. I'm not eager to delve any further into the secrets of the past. Oh, that's fine. I'm not telling you to be eager. I'm telling you to do it. Holy shit. The tone just shifted. Wow. This illustration is just really beautiful too. Now let's stay calm. Oh fuck! A shot rings out, searing my arm. I stumble to the floor. Did you not hear me? I said I'm sick of talking. I don't have all night. Well? Stop. Please, I'll do as you say. That's more like it. But let me ask one thing first. Why not? Go ahead. Who is the person you're hoping to save by doing all of this? Save? Oh my god, you actually believed that stupid shit! Oh, she bananas for real. Listen, you want to know who all this is for? Me. But you're free to keep thinking of the sovereignty as my dead wife flower if that makes you feel better. I see. Well, thank you for your honesty. The white dawn's eye, in simple terms, light. Coincidentally, the first flower I read for the man who brought me to this place. I was a boy, lured by stories of illuminating the past, recovering the lost knowledge of the old world. I lent my power to his cause. Then I saw what he was truly after, and I turned my back on him. At least he allowed me that. With some effort, I withdraw my notebook and let it fall open into my lap. If the sovereignty exists here, then it has eluded treasure hunters in the backyard of the mosaic for half a century. Yet only a surface reading of light was enough to shake its final line of defense. Why? A particular page stops me. The sight calls a hazy memory of Tannim to my mind. Not the statue at the entrance, but a smaller image displayed in a relative's home once upon a time. I remember the brilliant sunrose that was always placed in a dish of water before the god, to be ritually invoked as soon as it began to wilt. In flower language, the sunrose falls toward the esoteric end of the scale, its meaning significant only to the followers of a dead faith. It seems to say, only for our people, only for our children. Not for me, I think. You look like you have an idea. Certainly not for this woman, but I feel a deadly brush against the back of my neck as she urges me on. Share with the class. Pleasing my ancestors is beyond me at this point. Still, a useless apology flits through my mind before I turn it toward the task at hand. At a simple acknowledgement, the dawn's eye opens to me, and I read, "Where you walk, sight of Phaeum, let truth not hide." Bit by bit, the enchantment begins to unravel, the room as we see it melting away. A rush of cold is the first sensation to tear through the veil. Fresh flecks of snow on our faces, clouds of warmth from our lips, then the sound of trickling water. We stand in a courtyard. A fountain, blanketed with lilies in vivid shades of pink and blue, ornate pillars on all sides inscribed with the words of the poet. This hollow temple is the most complete remnant of accent to survive into the modern world. But that isn't what I've been brought here for, is it? At the center of the pool stands a peculiar door. Otherworldly light issues forth as a deep, resonant voice envelops us. Children of the Creator, come! Without hesitation, Ismay drops her weapon to the floor and throws herself into the light. But what compels me to approach? I place my hand through the door, and a palpable shift in atmosphere sends me reeling as if from a burn. Somehow I can feel the massive distance that lies between this side and the other. How many adventurous hands fell short in the years before this moment? And if what lies beyond really is the power to remake the world, then what have I done? This time, I can't look away. I must steel myself and walk through. To a place built not by humans, not even by artisanry, a hall so pristine that every step feels almost improper. A realm divine. The Sovereign Hall. Ooh. Honorable children of the Creator, you are welcome. At the end of the hall stands an altar guarded by a living statue. Its voice and manner are empty, and patches of feathers cover its body like ivy on a decaying building. From behind a winding scroll, the guardian's eyes seems to stare at nothing. Oh, I see. I thought this was its face for a minute, and I was like, what? I don't see no eyes. No, his face is right here. You have come to the resting place of the sovereignty. I am its voice. The ruling sovereign has failed, and his world decays beyond salvation. But within you, I sense the approach of a stronger vision. In reaching this place, you have proved your faith. Will you save this world? Isme! The sight of the voice so arrested me that I nearly forgot to call out to her, but she flashes only a quick grin at me before turning back toward the altar. I will. Then you must be tested. Didn't you just say that I proved myself? In reaching this place, you have proved your faith. You must next prove the faith of your witness. For a reason I cannot comprehend, terror clutches my chest. Wait! With a swift motion, the winding scroll becomes rigid, sharp. The voice's hand finds Isme's back to steady her, and the newly formed blade finds her heart. Oh, rip. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit! Her face remains contorted in shock as she slumps to the floor, clearly dead even before I rush thoughtlessly to her side. Isme! Oh God! But the voice watches me with unfeeling eyes. Why do you grieve? What? Did you not come as her witness? Say the prayer and she will be reborn. I don't understand. What prayer? A binding of souls, a pledge to usher her onto the seat of the sovereignty at the cost of your freedom, at the risk of your life. Will you do this? As if it's the simplest question. And she'll die otherwise? She has died. Already her soul slips away, drawn to rest, but say the prayer and she will be reborn. Ouch is right, huh? I don't know, Loic. I don't know. I kind of think that she's better off, like the world is better off without her. From the little that she kind of shot you. Loic! I'll do it. Then speak the words. Restless soul by sovereignty marked, to you I offer willing hands, willing. To the voice's steady tone begins to falter. Ah. No. No more of this. Not again. Okay? Hello? No more. No more. The serenity of the hall is shattered as the voice lets out a terrible cry. I catch a glimpse of its eyes shining with rage and fear. Begone! The spirit unfurls its wings, great banners of flame. I stagger back from the altar, my senses already muddled with the smell of smoke. I can't linger. And so I hurry away, downstairs, and twist and buckle violently beneath my feet. Through the gates, trampling the carpet of water lilies, through the halls of the temple, stumbling out into the cold. Suddenly, there's a loud sound, a burst of flame at my back. Then nothing. Bro, you should have just bailed. Oh. Two weeks? Her curls glittered in the sunlight as she shook her head. Why 2 weeks? 2 weeks is no time at all, sweetheart. Who knows? You might not even want to come back by the end of it. I'll be dead by the end of it. Now, none of that. Oh, what about Duval's? You love that place. The bakery? The bakery's name clearly sparked her interest. I could almost see the reflection of that chocolate raspberry cake she so loved in her eyes. Then, stubbornly, she closed them. Well, they're opening one here, so that's not even exciting anymore. Leah. Work with me here, please. Oh, his daughter? Oh. I know you'd rather stay. If I had it my way, you could. But this is the reality of it. There's nothing I can do. Nothing? Lelia, huh? Maybe one small thing. Does this mean skipping 2 weeks into the future? Bap. Hee. Finally, a real smile. Matter yield to memory, that two may dwell as one. The poet wrote that about the wind sage. I thought you hated that stuff. I do, but that one's not so bad. Steadying my heart, I folded her hands lightly in mine and began to speak with purpose. Be present for a moment, Leah. Hear my voice. Feel your weight where you stand. Savor the scent of roses on the air. Even consider how much I'm boring you with all this. She was listening intently, but dignified me with another smile anyway. Know that memory ties you here. However far you wander, it will lead you back. Oh. And with that, I've done the complicated part. All you need to do is remember. A skeptical look crossed her face. I can use this to just come home? Whenever? Only for a little while. Save it for when you really need it, okay? Aw, I'm sad now. The wind howls. I wake to my guest room. Somehow I've made it back. As I slowly sit up, my eyes focusing, the events at the temple bubble to the surface of my memory. I was shot, wasn't I? But the tear in my sleeve has been mended, patched with artisanry over my bandaged arm. The lingering pain is all that reminds me now. And there's that blizzard that was still in the horizon when we left. Would Ismay have been caught in it if... Maybe I could use a bit more rest. Back to sleep so soon? What the fuck? I thought you got impaled! Oh, hello? She's a force ghost now. Ismay, how? What happened to you? What do you think? I fucking bit it. You saw what that thing did to me. Well, this is my first time speaking with a ghost. I might need a moment to get my bearings. Well, this is my first time being a ghost, and it fucking sucks. Nobody can see me except you, and believe me, I've tried everything. A binding of souls, I wonder. What the hell are you talking about? That guardian we saw, the voice. It told me to recite a prayer naming you my god, effectively. The way I heard it, that would have resurrected you. What? Wait, what? Ismay, did you not anticipate any of this? Are you joking? I told you the whole reason I went out on a limb was my reliable source not so fucking reliable, it turns out. I was expecting the sovereignty to be hard to get. I didn't know this shit was part of the deal. Maybe it isn't. Something happened before I could finish that prayer. The voice went berserk all of a sudden. Then finish it now. how can I? I never heard the whole thing. Now that I think on it, the words I did manage at the altar have already faded like a dream from my memory. But before I can say this, footsteps approach. Oh, good. You were out for a full day. I was starting to get worried. I did what I could for your arm, but I'm no doctor. Should have just let you take care of it yourself. Not at all. Thank you, Alma. The shield brought you back. A search team went out to the temple after they saw some kind of light there, and... Anyway, there's a cop waiting downstairs. I tried to get rid of him, but he's hell-bent on grilling you. Kept asking me about that girl you went with. Hey, what happened out there, Loic? I thought the temple didn't have anything. Certainly not anything worth getting shot over. I'm not sure what happened, Alma. I'm sorry. Still out of it, huh? Well, I'm sorry to send him right up, but he'll get suspicious if I take too long. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. With a little nod, she reluctantly heads off. Langley. Come again? The cop who's here looking for me. I saw him come in while you were out. A real VIP, I take it? God, no. He'd cream himself if he heard you say that. Gross. Helpful to know. What is he then? Right now, a church lapdog. Not that he'll admit to being here on their business. I doubt he even cares. I'm beginning to think I may have underestimated your religious family. Oh, you have no idea. Just don't tell him what happened at the temple. I don't want him to have the satisfaction of knowing I'm dead, even temporarily. Footsteps heavier than Alma's make their way nearer. When the door opens next, a stifling presence fills the room. Yeah, I feel that way whenever there's a cop in the room. Loic Ard? Oh! Beard. Loic Ard, Commander Theodore Langley of the Shield. It's a pleasure to... Let's skip the pleasantries. I've wasted enough time in this pit as it is. Last night, you made contact with a woman calling herself Ismay. Tell me everything you can about her. I see that this is an urgent matter, sir. Unfortunately, I don't have much information to provide. Ismay came to the inn last night, seeking an escort to the temple. She claimed that her life... Yes, I heard all that from the innkeeper. What else did she say? Anything about who she was, where she came from? Nothing, actually. She was very quiet on our trip. After a few failed attempts at small talk, I decided to leave her be. And the temple, what happened there? I don't know. Just before we arrived, she pulled out a gun. I thought I heard her telling me to empty my pockets, but I was already frazzled from the journey. Without thinking, I ran. That was when she fired at me. I blacked out, and the next thing I knew, I was here. I do my best not to acknowledge Ismay's approving grin. When was the last time I had to lie so boldly, and to an officer, no less? Look, it's okay. You're lying to a cop. It's always okay to lie to cops. There's never a time you should not lie to a cop. Unless you didn't do anything wrong, then you shouldn't lie. You should tell the truth. In Minecraft, yeah. Sorry. I'm not telling my chat to lie to cops. At the FBI agent, currently looking at me, at my stream. This is all in jest. Haha, I'm a funny CieloSlug. Anyway, let's keep going. Ah, right. The search party found this at the scene. Look familiar? Yes, that's... Hello? Stop pointing guns at this man! What the shit? Ha! Relax. What the fuck? What the fuck? of people. Convincing enough to the untrained eye, I'll give her that, but it's flimsy work. Like all her constructs, I doubt it would have fired a second shot without falling apart. He pulls the trigger, and the gun shatters into light. What the fuck? Why would you fucking scare bro like that? Punch him! Only a joke, I know. But then, what is this discomfort that falls upon me as she says it? That girl likes to call herself a master of illusion, as if that means anything. Artisanry without substance, without discipline, the best she can manage. My breathing grows deliberate. It's only when I become aware of my efforts to calm myself that I realize how tense I am. Bro has PTSD because he literally got shot in the arm by a bitch. Certainly he's less than friendly, but was Langlay's voice always so aggravating? Oh, wait. Oh. No, my exhaustion is to blame. But another voice rings clear in my mind. The voice of my new sovereign. Oh, fuck! Go on, get him while his back's turned. Better yet, smash him with that chair. I am not myself. Though I desperately will it to remain at my side, my trembling hand reaches out. Please. I say it without thinking, a strained whisper. Oh? Oh? What's this? Oh, I'll save now, since I accidentally did that. Wait! You said something about naming me your god. And now, you have to obey me? Is that it? Oh, this is great, actually! I just thought it was funny. Oh, I didn't get to read it. Are you listening, Mr. Ard? No, fam, I'm not. Sorry. Pardon me. Yes, I'm listening. All at once, that oppressing feeling recedes. I still cling to the chair, more to brace myself. No, I can't throw away a perfectly good pawn now. You and I still need to make this official, don't we? All right, I think that's all we have to discuss, leaving only one last order of business. Which is... The details of our investigation are highly classified, Mr. Ard, but rest assured I mean to smoke her out. Oh. Don't care, out of my way. Oh. What? Commander! A young officer throws the door open, shoving her way past the temporary guard. What in the hell? Commander Langlais, sir, please, is it true? You're going to destroy it? We're done here. Sir, wait, you can't. We've barely even... Wait! The officer follows Langlais back through the door. I hear their footsteps thundering down the stairs and out of the lamplight. Ismay drifts towards the window, listening for the frantic voice until it becomes too distant to make out. Please, please. Her gaze lingers on the horizon, as if she can see across the distance to where her body lies. It strikes me then how ghostly she seems, truly a fading spark of life. Whatever I managed at the altar was enough to tether her to this world, to me, but her silence now tells that she and I have arrived at the same conclusion. She has died. Already her soul slips away. Oh, fuck. That portal to the sovereignty. Fuck. If they destroy the temple... Fuck, I'm really dead. I'm really going to die here. Let's not panic yet. She seizes me then, her hands digging into my shoulders with such force as if to shatter them. Pain tears through me as my back hits the wall. No! No! I am not going to die here. Not after all this. Not when I'm so close. Searing, relentless agony unlike any I felt. I can focus on nothing but holding myself together. Ismay, stop. You're going to go back to that temple. You're going to say that prayer. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you have to die for it. All right, please, enough. Oh, the merciful sound of ascending footsteps frees me at last. Alma. Okay, back to bed with you. Now that they're gone, I can give you a piece of my mind. With a shooing motion, she ushers me to lie down, then sighs, sitting softly at the foot of the bed. Loic, listen to me. You can't help everyone. I know how badly you want to, but sooner or later you're going to end up with more than a bloody arm. And then who'll be there when Lelia wakes up? You've been at this for months. If that miracle flower of yours were around, you'd have found it by now. I get that you're spinning your wheels here because you need someone to help, even if it can't be her. But this isn't good for you. I think it's time for you to help yourself. Move on. Better yet, go home. And maybe it won't take a miracle, you know? Maybe it'll just happen one day. In fact, I heard about patients who've... please. Sorry. Look, I've said my piece. You get some rest. With that she goes, shutting the door behind her. Ismay hasn't taken her eyes off me once, but I lack the words to say to her. Instead, I turn toward the little bedside table where my notebook lies undisturbed. I pick it up and hold it for a moment. I still remember the look on my daughter's face when she realized that the meager enchantment I'd woven could not end her trip on the second day. What it could do was project the image of home to her, and her to me, while she remained very much where she was. Needless to say, she was less than happy with the results. You told me this would take me home. I told you it would let you visit. Bringing you from there to here would be big magic and too dangerous for you, so don't try to improvise. Then you do it. Come on, is it really so bad over there? Yes! She stomped forward, forgetting the limitations of the spell. It seemed to stumble over something I couldn't see, probably a piece of furniture on her side. Ow! Careful, honey. See, there's so much stupid stuff here. And of course it's all gold and sparkly and ugh. Oh, you know her tastes. I had to wear the worst outfit yesterday and smile and talk to all these strangers for hours. Smiling at strangers? Well, that's just inhumane. Did you get a fancy dinner out of it at least? I wish I didn't. There were fish eggs. What? That does it. Leah, I'm getting you out of there. Dad. No. Don't try to talk me down now. I'm already on the line with, yes, hello, authorities? They're serving my daughter caviar. This is such a cute illustration. There it was, the grin that pretended to be sick of my antics. I loved that look. But as her gaze drifted past me, it began to fade. Indistinct as it was, she could see the couch where she would usually collapse after school, home at last, the spot where she'd be laughing at me now if she were truly here. She grew still. I hate it here. Oh, honey. The moment I set aside my work, she ran toward me and collided with thin air. Oh, the wall. This spell is stupid. Hey. We laughed as I made my way to her. Oh. I can do this, at least. I miss you. I miss you more. But hang in there a while, Leah. You'll be home before you know it, I promise. Oh. My skin prickles painfully under Ismay's glare, reminding me of where I am, but my eyes remain fixed on the notebook. I could return home. The sage alone wouldn't do it, but joined with one or two others, I could be back to the shallow comfort of the mosaic in an instant, too far from that doomed temple to do anything about it. Even if Ismay followed, death would claim her before long. I took the notebook away into my pocket. Let's go, Ismay. There's another route we can take. Oh man. So it's been an hour and 30 minutes. I'm debating right now whether making you so emo. Aww. What do you guys think? Should we call that like a stopping point today? Or should we keep going for like a half hour? How are the folks feeling? You want to do a 2 hour stream or a minute 30 or minute a minute 30 stream? Minute 30 seconds. You're speed running the fucking game. Let's go. It mentions it's about 11K words, so you might not be too deep yet. Oh. Oh. Maybe we should leave it. We could do a 2 hour if you are up for it. This is a good stopping point, though. Yeah, I would agree. This kind of gave us like a perfect, like, kind of we've seen all the characters so far, and like we know where the plot is going. At least unless there's like another twist that they throw at us, right? I think, excuse me, for the sake of my voice and also for the sake of not going, too long here, I think let's call that a let's call this a softing point. Let's call this a saving point even. You're right, save, yeah. And yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna save again just in case. Even though I literally just did and it's recorded. I'm paranoid. But yeah, so that's the first hour and 30 minutes of Soul of Sovereignty. I think it's really cool so far. It definitely surprised me in a couple places, and I hope that everybody has been enjoying it so far. I already know who I want to raid because I see that Binka is going. Let me link this in the chat in case anybody is interested in picking this game up. You can find it here on itch.io. This is just a prelude, so we're gonna get to the end of the prelude for sure. That's what I want to do next time, is probably finish this up, because I'm really enjoying it so far. But then maybe if you like this, you can consider picking up the full game once that is out. I'm not sure if they've given like a timeline as far as like when that will be, but I highly recommend it. It's really cool so far, and GGDG's art is like stunning, and I think it suits their art suits like a visual novel really well. So yeah, but yeah, let's like I said, I already know who I want to raid, but let's go over to this. And yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me for the first stream of Soul of Sovereignty Prelude. This stream won't be taken down from Twitch because I didn't fuck anything up in this one. So it should stay, the VOD should stay on Twitch, and it'll be uploaded to YouTube in a little bit once I get the download off Twitch and scooch it over there. So thank you for joining me. Let me see if I can raid Bibinka or if it will yell at me. No, hold on. Let me go to Binka's stream and see if she can do me a favor. Hold on. We're working on it. Twitch is yelling at me because my account is too baby. So it's saying I'm not allowed to raid into you. Oh, she's playing Protostar Twilight too. This is the Hollow Stars game. Okay. We may not be able to raid over there, but I'm gonna post Binka's. We're gonna raid in spirit. Here. Go give Binka some love. Let's go watch Protostar Twilight. Thank you guys for joining me again. I hope you all have a great time zone, a good evening, a good night, a good morning, and we'll see you next time for the remainder of Soul of Sovereignty. Thank you. Bye-bye.